Alright guys, our next episode is Coming of Age, and this was episode number 19. It originally aired on March 12th, 1988. It was written by Sandy Fries and directed by Michael Vijar. Now, plot-wise with this particular episode, the Enterprise is orbiting Relva 7, and Wesley Crusher is actually beaming down to test for entrance into Starfleet Academy. And at the same time, Admiral Gregory Quinn and Lieutenant Commander Dexter Remick are beaming aboard. And after talking with Captain Picard, Admiral Quinn tells him that Remick is actually in the Inspector General's office, and he's going to investigate the Enterprise because there is apparently something wrong on the Enterprise, and Quinn won't tell him anything further than that. So Picard's duty is to cooperate and make sure the crew cooperates, and they're asked tons of questions, mostly about Captain Picard, and trying to resolve discrepancies in the captain's log, apparently, and trying to see if there's anything wrong with the captain, which the crew, of course, denies. Now, at the same time, Wesley, down on the planet, is with 3 other candidates into Starfleet Academy. One's a human female that they both seem to have a little bit of an attraction to each other. There's also a Vulcan female and a Benzite male named Mordock. And apparently only one of them can make it to the Academy this year. I'm not exactly sure why, but that's the premise of the story here. Now, while they are trying to do all these exams, Wesley and Mordock actually develop a little bit of a friendship, and Wesley helps Mordock a little bit along with some of these tests and gives him encouragement. Now, Wesley's especially nervous about the psych test because he hears that's fairly difficult. And when he does actually do the psych test, he doesn't realize that it's going on. In fact, he's in a room and he thinks that there is an actual danger in that particular room that they need to evacuate. And Wesley can only free 2 people, and one person is just so gripped with fear that he doesn't escape and he actually is killed. Well, Wesley has to make the choice, so he saves one person and evacuates the room, only to find out that that was actually the test and there was really no danger at all. But Wesley had to make that choice, and he did. Just like Captain Picard had to make a choice when Wesley was young, whether to save people in his crew or to save Wesley's father. And Picard had to make that tough decision and had to bring Wesley's father's body back to him and his mother, which was a painful experience for Wesley, and one that he wasn't sure if he could do himself. Well, at the same time, Remick is finally done with his investigation, and he even witnessed Picard save a young man who was trying to evacuate the Enterprise because he had failed entrance into Starfleet Academy as well and was ashamed and wanted to go off on his own, and then got into trouble and in danger, and Picard was able to talk the young man back into safety and back aboard the ship. So Remick reports that he can't find anything wrong with the ship or with Captain Picard. And Admiral Quinn is satisfied, and then he opens up and tells Picard, in very vague terms really, that there's some sort of a threat to the Federation, and that the Quinn needs people that he can trust in positions of authority at Starfleet, and wants to promote Picard to Admiral, and put him in charge of Starfleet Academy. So while Picard is thinking about this, Wesley comes back to the ship and tells Picard that he feels like he fails Picard, and he failed the Enterprise because he didn't make it into Starfleet Academy. It was actually Mordock who did. And even Mordock didn't think that was particularly fair because Wesley had helped him. But they were assured that Mordock was not given that one position just because of Wesley's help. It was because of other factors too. And Picard tells Wesley that Wesley should not be ashamed at all because he tried his best, and that he'll do even better next year when he applies again. And Picard tells Wesley a secret that he actually failed the first time when he tried to get into the Academy, but not the second time. So that assures Wesley, and he feels like he'll do much better next year too. Well, Picard decides to turn down Admiral Quinn's offer to be promoted to Admiral to work at the Academy because he'd rather be a starship captain than having to deal with the Starfleet bureaucracy. So that's the end of the episode. Admiral Quinn wishes him well, and we're left to wonder what is going on with the Federation and why was all of this necessary. And we won't really find that out until a sequel to this episode later in the season, which I'll be reviewing shortly. So that is the end of the plot of this episode. And I really feel like this was done very well, and so did the writers. There were basically 3 storylines going on. You have Wesley's entrance into, or his attempt to enter into Starfleet Academy. You have the investigation aboard the Enterprise, and then Picard talking that young man back into safety aboard the ship when he tries to leave. And all of them were done very well. I think this was pretty solid and one of the better episodes of Season 1. So I had a lot of fun watching this particular one. I hope you guys did too. And I will see you in the next episode for Season 1. Thanks, guys.